So what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial series episode where I teach you guys how to do redstone, starting from the basics, going all the way up. Today is episode 2, and let's get right into it. Episode 2, we'll be looking at pulse extenders and T flip-flops. For pulse extenders and T flip-flops, they all relate to comparators. I went through all the basics with power sources, how redstone lines works and repeater works. Next is on to comparators and the more complex things that you can do with comparators. So, to start off, we're going to be working with pulse extenders. So if I go over here and I press this button, right, you'll see how the button lets a pulse off to the lamp, and it's like as quick as the button. Like as soon as it pushes down, it activates on, and when it lights up, it just turns off. Pulse extender, it basically just extends the pulse of the button. As you see, it's longer, like so. But the pulse extender, how it works is you have redstone going into a comparator going in redstone, comparator going into a block, or as here, a redstone lamp. And this redstone lamp always has to be next to the redstone that it came from, because what happens is, since comparators, they let off a lesser light redstone pulse, so each time it goes around, it'll keep getting less and less of a pulse until it's nothing and it turns off. That's why this is longer than a normal button. You can keep extending this pulse by adding more comparators. As you can see, this is 2, we move on to 4. So it's the exact same thing with the redstone dust. It goes into 1 and then another, and then it has the 2 redstone to loop it back, 1 into another, into the lamp. And you see, it will be a longer amount of time because there's more comparators. With these comparators, it does not mean it can go on forever. If I do this, we'll see how it ends here. Then loop back around, get here, and it's just a loop. As you see, it turns back off. The max you can go on delay is 10. So 5 on the left, 5 on the right. So you have 5 going this way, loop it back, 5 going back into this block. And you see, it does have a spiral motion, but the lamp never turns off. And you see, eventually the pulse will die out. It's getting there, don't worry. There we go. So that's pretty much all you need to know about pulse extenders and how you can make them. I'm not gonna do tutorials on how you make them because it's pretty simple. Row of comparators going this way, loop it back, going in the block next to the redstone source it came from. Now it's a T flip-flop. So what T flip-flop does is basically make a button act the exact same way as a lever. So when you press the lever, as you see, it turns on and stays on until you flick it again and it turns off. T flip-flop does the exact same thing. You press it, turns on, stays on until you turn it off again. Like so. As you can obviously see, it's completely different from just a normal button where it will just pulse it on and pulse it off. Now there are many different types of T flip-flops, but I'm going to show you the best ones for certain things. So this one is an oldie but a goodie. It has always been used and is super effective, but the only downside is the noise of the droppers. Sorry, I almost said dispensers. Of the droppers. And if you want to activate this, obviously with the button not right there, you'll have to have some sort of redstone going into this bottom dropper. And what happens is this button, there's an item in here. As you can see, we have a shovel in this bottom dispenser. You can use any item. When you press the button, it then goes up here, loops through this, goes down here where the comparator can detect it and let out an output. Then we press it again, and it goes into this one. This one is a silent one, but it's a little bit larger in size. So when you press it, quickly turns on and off the torch, so then it gives it the just amount of time to unlock the hoppers and allow the item to go through the other one. So then if you press again, it unlocks the hoppers real quick and it goes to this one. Do it again, unlocks the hopper real quick, goes to this one. This next one, this is with repeaters only, and I actually didn't discuss this, but there's such thing as repeaters locking. So basically, with this bedrock thing is how a repeater locks its power. And with this, what happens is let's say a repeater is going into this repeater at a diagonal angle. This repeater will then lock if this repeater is being powered and is on. What will happen is if we push this button, this torch will turn off. This repeater will then proceed to turn off, making this a free comparator that will be allowed to turn on by this repeater. This repeater turning on this repeater will power this block. This torch will then proceed to turn off. Redstone line going back to this repeater, then powering it like in such a motion where then it will be so fast that this repeater will then get locked again when its power is on. I will show you. So you then do it again, it's powered, and then it will be like locked in the on state. And then if you do it again, it will be locked in the off state, turning it off. This is another silent one, and probably like a really good, efficient, like not a lot of materials needed to use this. Next one is probably the most simple. You have a dispenser with a water bucket. Each time the dispenser like lets off the water or removes the water, it'll land on this pressure plate there, turning on the lamp or any power source. And then when it's lifted up by the water, it'll turn off. Back to the first one, and let's do this tutorial. You'll need your item that you'll need to circulate through. You'll need 3 droppers, 1 hopper, a comparator. You don't need the lamp, but you will need to connect it to whatever you're powering. And you'll need your button to have a dropper facing up like this. This is the dropper that you're going to have your power source going into, or your button. You're going to have a dropper facing out, and then a dropper facing into this bottom one towards the button. On top of this dropper, you're going to have a hopper. Then coming out of this bottom one, you're going to place your comparator. And your powers, wherever your power's going, like line of redstone. But I'm just putting my redstone lamp. You're going to place in your shovel or whatever item. Press it, should turn on. Press again, should turn off. Next one with the hopper locking system. You need your item that will be circulating through. You'll need 2 solid blocks. You'll need 1 button. You'll need 2 redstone torches, 2 redstone, 2 hoppers. Like whatever, again, you don't need the lamp. And then your comparator. So 2 blocks up, break the bottom block because you don't really need it. You know, another 2 like this. So technically you'll actually need 3 blocks because you'll need some temporary blocks. But you're gonna have these 2 diagonal blocks like this. Place a torch on that one and on this one. This one should turn off. You can also place your button on the front. Once again, not right below this torch, but the block across from it right here. You're gonna place a temporary block. Should have added like that in the materials. Hopper going into that block, you're gonna break it, and then hopper going into the hopper, so like this. Oops, and then redstone on top. Then you put this your item in, comparator out of the hopper. Then you have your lamp, and then when you press the button, should turn on, should turn off. Next one, we have the repeater locking system. Super easy. You'll need 2 blocks, 1 button, 2 redstone torches, 4 repeaters, 4 redstone dust, and 1 redstone lamp. It's your block that you're gonna place your button on. To the left or to the right, sorry, you're gonna place your torch. Coming out of that torch, a repeater, and coming out of the block, a repeater. Then you're gonna have a repeater going sideways, and another repeater going sideways. This one should be locked. In the locked one, you're gonna place a block that's going into, and then either like the redstone dust that you're gonna have connected to it, or the lamp like me. On the side of it, you're gonna have a redstone torch. Hook up your redstone all the way to this front one, and then it should be working perfect. On, off. Last one, the boat one, the easiest of all easy. You're gonna need a dispenser, 3 pressure plates. Really, I don't think it matters with pressure plates. I'm just using wooden, so I suggest you just use wooden. A water bucket, a button, your boat, and whatever you're gonna lead this to. Dispenser facing out. Make a triangle of, what are these? Triangle of pressure plates. Sorry, I blanked. Put your water bucket inside. Place your button. Dispense the water. Place your boat on top. That didn't work correctly. Place your boat. There we go. Place your boat so it's like on top of the water. And then make sure that when you get rid of it and you place that, it should be on. Because you need it over this top one. Because that's where the top one's going to be. Alright, so if you did enjoy and you want to see more episodes from the series, make sure to smash like, subscribe, and new. As always, post notifications. That's pretty much all I gotta say. See you next one. Goodbye.